Welcome to the 30th episode in the martial arts poetry series. In this episode, we'll be talking about a movement from Xinyiliuhe called bear palm. So there's two variants of this bear palm. There's small bear palm, which looks like this. Then there's big bear palm, which looks like this. So the bear palm has positioning like this, where you hit and spiral through the hit. Your hit will actually be about here, where both palms overlap like so, almost like we're making a butterfly. And the idea of the poetry is meant to convey this idea of you're a bear, not a human. Have you watched bears when they move or when they fight, right? Their most emphasis is in their back, the strength of their back. You see them stand tall to fight another bear. You see that when they go to swing down, they're not just hitting you with their claw alone. They're swinging their whole back into that. That's what it's all meant to convey. In Xinyiliuhe, the bear imagery is meant to convey an idea with the back and how you engage the back for martial arts movement. So when we do the bear palm, I'm not doing this with the arms, right? I'm doing this with the back by engaging it in a particular way to get the full force of the body into the movement. So how I engage the back is what we call the bear back. It's as if the dajue, the big vertebra right here by the base of the neck, and mingmen right by the base of right by the lumbar, those points are as if they're pulled backwards slightly, not in a way that is vertical like this, but more in a horizontal way, that when they sink back, your body almost rounds horizontally as if to hug and embrace. And this kind of gives you that kind of bear feeling, that engagement of the back, that when you move, right, your whole back is being put into it. So one thing that's important to mention is there's a lot of media talking about you should never use your back, you should only use your legs when lifting. This is mostly to make up for the fact that people improperly use their backs, so they just kind of like take out the middleman, don't use it at all so that you don't hurt yourself. But it mostly has to do with improper use of the back and the spine alignment. But as we sink the tailbone and we raise the crown and we round horizontally, we're engaging the spine in a way where the vertebrae are no longer on top of each other and grinding when we twist or move, but they're elongated, and the back musculature is engaged in such a way that it supports the spine properly. So it's not going to throw your back out if you do it properly. Just make sure that you're with a proper teacher to teach you these things before engaging in it, so they can tell you if you're using it properly or not. So when you engage, right, as I settle into the movement as if this is the point of impact, my back will sit down into this bear back-like position as the movement spirals through. And as I do that, right, that horizontal rounding will then contract the lats, which will then spiral my arms into position to create that three-dimensional spiral through the opponent. Bear palm is actually a big movement in Xinyiliuhe and very emphasized by a lot of teachers. And I believe it was either Liu Songgao or Yu Huolong, I can't remember which one off the top of my head, but one of them had a saying where I know how to beat you in 8 or 16 different ways, and all of them are bear palm. Just everything was built on the foundation of bear palm. And no matter which way that he uses it, whether he uses it this way, or whichever direction he hits you with it, it's all going to be bear palm. There's a very big emphasis on the movement. It's like a big, heavy hitter type movement. So as we hit, we want the engagement, we want dropping force, so that when we hit, it's not exactly like we're jumping into the hit, but our whole body weight is dropping down into the movement to get weight involved. And then our back expands into this bareback-like position to get the musculature of the back engaged in the movement. And then we twist the lats to get the spiral into position. And when all those things are working together, you get a lot of force behind a small point. Because when they're twisting like this, right, this is the impact point. It's not the whole palms that we're impacting. We're specifically trying to target and funnel the power through one small point. So all that power through one point. And it's gonna be a bad day for the person who gets hit. And so that's the emphasis. When we talk about the bear palm, we're talking about being like the bear. The bear, when it gets involved, it's smash you with the whole force of its back, and it's got a huge back. If you've ever seen a bear, huge. Especially when they get tall, you can see just how massive they are. So it's meant to convey this idea of how to properly utilize the back and the muscularity in it. All right, thank you. That was the 30th episode of the Martial Arts Poetry Series. See you in the next video.